Hey everyone, welcome back to Jesse Invests. Thanks for checking out the channel. Today is going to be a good day. We are diving into my Roth IRA, looking at the returns that I have got on this portfolio since last time I updated, which was last summer, and look at kind of some of the goals for the future. So go ahead, hit that like button down below, hit that sub button down below. If you make it to the end of the video, thank you. And yeah, let's get into it. So right now I have open my investment returns visualizer. This shows how all of my different portfolios are doing that I make videos about. Today we're looking at the one in the reddish maroon color, which is the Roth IRA. Currently it's actually performing the worst comparatively to all my other portfolios, with a 20.93% all-time return, which still is very good. It's in the green by 20%, so it's still good. But they're all fighting neck and neck to compete for which one's doing the best. So let's dive into it, guys. My Roth IRA is on Robinhood, and it's currently sitting at $6,926. Just the other day, it was passing 7,000, I believe. Yeah, and not so long ago, it was passing 7,000. But 20.93% all-time return, gains of $1,199, and an upward chart, as you can see here. All good things. I will say, if you watched my last video, you may be wondering, hey, why do you have 6,900 in here when last video you had 8,300? You're missing, $1,500. So that is why I missed a fall update. I'm supposed to do a seasonal update for this portfolio. So I missed the fall 2024 one. I got summer 24, and here we are now in winter 25. Well, here's the thing. I had to take a $1,500 withdrawal from this portfolio. Thankfully, it was somewhat tax-free because it was contributions, but I had to take that withdrawal because I got hit with a life situation that was really hard, that costed more than I had in savings by a long shot. Thankfully that's all over now, but life loves to throw curveballs at you. It was over a $10,000 cost repair for a vehicle, and in order to get any value out of the vehicle, I needed to repair it and then sell it. So I repaired it, got it back up into pristine condition by paying that $10K, and then got rid of the vehicle, but not without a cost, right? Thankfully, we are on the come up again, and we're in a pretty good spot. So here are the 4 investments I have in this portfolio. I could see myself going up to 5, but I don't really want to if I don't have to. Lesser is more. Okay. So we have VU, which is the S&P 500, which is my main investment in this portfolio, which is 9.93 shares, up 16% or $775 in the green. Let's go on that one. It's currently $552 a share. We have an average cost of $473. Here we then have a 3% return on VYMI, which is an international stock ETF. And then we have a 6% return on VICI, which I have 20 shares of, which is a REIT. It's a real estate investment trust. And then Smith & Wesson, I am down 24% or down $232. I have 66 shares. So let's talk about this. Overall, because of these huge gains from buying a very stable ETF, it puts my portfolio in the green, and I totally just eat these losses and don't feel it. But you might be wondering, why do I have Smith & Wesson, such a random small company? Well, I like their high dividend, and I invested in this to add some fun to the portfolio. I'm not a person who can just invest and forget about the account. I'm passionate about investing as a hobby. So when I built this portfolio, I knew I would be checking it a lot. And in order to keep myself from buying and selling funds all the time, I needed something that I could do with my trigger happy fingers. So I went ahead and bought a company that I can play around with, like a play company within the account that I'm aiming to get to 100 shares so I can start writing option contracts on it, write covered calls on, and wheel it. When I wheel contracts, when I wheel options, it doesn't always go great for me. It usually ends up break even. But again, this is something to stimulate me, to keep me from touching the real money makers. So yeah, that's what's going on now. For Smith & Wesson, we can see that it's at $10 a share, and my average cost is 14. That's why we're feeling those losses. It adds up to be 24%, negative 24% return. So my goal with this portfolio is to keep VU about 75% of the portfolio at least. VYMI is only like 1% of the account right now. I really wanted to grow my position in that. VCHI is in a decent spot. I think it's around 10% of the account. We'll keep it around there. SWBI, I want to get it to 100 shares and then chill. I want to stop buying it, just wheel it, and take the income I get from wheeling it and use it to buy more shares of these things. As far as monetary value goes, I do not have a goal of a certain amount of money I want to get the account to. I want to just keep the Roth growing. This is going to be a piece of my retirement vehicle, so it's really important that it grows and just keeps growing and growing and is invested in for the long term. If we go to my contributions page, I do pay a lot of attention to this. I really want to max out the contributions. That's a goal that I've had for a while, and I might still have for a little while because it's not cheap doing so. And I just really would love to see that happen. Probably, I'd love to have that happen by 2030, like reach a year where I have enough income where I can fully invest in the IRA. And I think that's really realistic. I think in the next 5 years we can do that. If we take a look at my 2023 investments, I got 20% to the limit, investing $1,300 into it. In 2024, I got around the same, about 18%. And then 2025 is just starting, and I'm only at about 1 or 2%. Again, my goal is to go ahead and get as much as I can each year. I'd like to see this slowly crawl up with each year and eventually get it to 100%. I do have Robinhood Gold for $5 a month, which is I have a 3% match on, which is kind of nice. So that's where we're at with this account. I could see myself buying a fifth stock, like I said. It's possible that when I get this to 100 and I'm making income off wheeling it, that I take that income and use it to start a position in another fun but more stable company. Like instead of VU, I said like not an ETF but a stock. I could see it being like there's a few. It could be something off my Robinhood watch list over here. If we go to my main screen here and scroll. Let's see, watch list, might like to own. Okay, yeah, so I could see it being one of these. It could be Airbnb, it could be CSX, it could be, let's see, Carnival or Royal Caribbean. I really am passionate about cruise lines. I might get into one of those. It could be Ford again. I've liked wheeling Ford. Something along those lines. I could see that being something that we jump into. Although, right now, it's pretty straightforward, guys. That's where we're at. If we go to the div tracker, we can look at what this account generates in dividends. Although it's not the focus of the account, it's something cool that to get a little notification for every so often. I don't pay a lot of attention to the dividends because they just get reinvested, and I'm not going to be utilizing the dividends for like 40 more years. So it's not something I pay a whole lot of attention to. But this account generates me $140 in dividends, $11 a month, $2 a week, 38 cents a day, 2 cents an hour with a 2% dividend yield. $11 a month, that I think pays for Netflix. That's kind of cool. And then if we go to full portfolio view, we can see that my account is 79% VU, 10% Smith & Wesson, 9% VCHI, and 1% VYMI. So that's it, guys, for today. Thank you for tuning in to the channel. Appreciate you guys watching. If you guys want to access spreadsheets like this one here, there are links in my descriptions that you can follow to get to my page where I have all of them available. I think I have over half a dozen different sheets available for you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time.